Welcome, everyone, to the Kia Knicks postgame show. Julius Randle tonight against Minnesota, 25-14. The Knicks were up by 21 late in the third, but Minnesota came back to lead by one and then down one, 23 seconds to go. Karl-Anthony Towns, who had 15 in the fourth quarter with a chance to put Minnesota in front. Oh! And the Knicks hold on. And that's the operative phrase, hold on. 103-99 the final over the Timberwolves. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Beal, along with Wally Zerbiak.
Oh, it got dicey in the green room.
Alan Hahn joins us from his home studio. MSG PM follows a postgame show. Monica and Kaz. It's Kaz's birthday, so they will celebrate that and much more coming up after the postgame show. Alan, against Orlando, you destroyed the remote. What's going on in the basement after watching that tonight?
I was having tea. That's all that's left. True story.
Hey, a win is a win, though.
This is what the
right?
Anger management on line
as a
one.
good friend,
Anger management
as a good
on
friend
line
once
one.
told me, it's still good to feel again, right? That's what matters most, is that games matter, and we get that emotionally attached to them. But this game, wow. Karl-Anthony Towns just took over in the fourth quarter. Almost took this game, almost really won this game for the Timberwolves, which they looked like they were dead in the water in the third quarter. Stat to watch, benches, and by the way, Minnesota's bench outscored the Knicks bench, which struggled again. Same formula as the Orlando game, different outcome. Benches were outplayed, three-point defense was a problem. Wally, here's a stat for you. So the Knicks gave up 46% shooting from three for Minnesota. It is the seventh time this season that the Knicks have allowed a team to shoot 40% or more from three-point range. It's the first time they've won a game with such defense. So They are now 1-6 in those situations. Barely escaped this one for sure, but you take the win.
You take the win. You really do. Karl-Anthony Towns was really good. You saw what happens when you play some young players. Some of the decisions that those Timberwolves guys made down the stretch of the game really cost them that game, because they completely took the momentum over in the fourth quarter. They completely flipped the script, and when the Knicks had a 21-point lead with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and I know as a player you're reeling when you give up a lead like that, but Julius Randle showed tonight why he should be on the All-Star team. Down the stretch of the game, he made big plays, got big rebounds, and they did it with their defense. Taj Gibson plugged that hole. He was a +8 in this game. They really needed his veteran leadership down the stretch of that game. You saw Tom Thibodeau go with his guys that he trusted. Emmanuel Quickley didn't see many minutes in this one. Obi Toppin didn't see many minutes in this one, because in games like this, when there's such a momentum shift, you need guys who have been there and know how to close out close games in the NBA, and he went with the team that he trusted, and they made those little plays to get that win, which, wow, could you imagine if the Knicks lost this game? I don't even want to know what your blood pressure was in that
It was
fourth
agony
quarter.
to watch, because, hey, after the third quarter, you're thinking, home
I know.
free, right? But
I'm making videos.
Right.
I mean, we're already chalking this one into the win column.
Man,
Woo.
but Karl-Anthony Towns,
busting mugs.
Karl-Anthony Towns took control in the fourth quarter. You talk about the three-point shooting percentage. How about the differential? Minnesota made 16 threes.
Yeah.
The Knicks made only 6 threes. That's a 30-point differential. And yet somehow the Knicks were able to hang on.
Well, the Knicks knew they could not lose this game. That's pretty much what it came down to. They could not afford to lose this game. They have so much on the line with the standings. And to give this game away at home would have just been catastrophic. And I think they had that feeling, and they were able to pull it out.
All right, Alan, let's take a look at the stretch. The Knicks in the fourth quarter scored only 16 points.
Yeah, the offense really was very stubborn trying to get into the paint. Meanwhile, Minnesota just kept doing what they do. And Karl-Anthony Towns, I really felt like I took – remember, he had 4 fouls. He had the technical foul. He only had 12 points after the 4 quarters, and then just all of a sudden got back into the game and decided, I'm going to make all the winning plays. What a beautiful pass that was. Shades of Wilt Chamberlain with the one-handed pass. And just down in the paint, he was a load, as he always is. All-star level a couple of years ago. Julius Randle here draws the foul. That was a huge moment right there also to just kind of stop the bleeding. And then you see, look at Taj Gibson, physically. You think these two didn't go at it 2 years ago when they were on the same team? Physical, in and out. It's that close right there. And obviously you got to make free throws at the end. They did that. Let's not also forget, RJ Barrett with also a huge drive, an N1 play late in the game as well. So they did make the plays they had to make. But if I'm Tom Thibodeau, I'm having a talk with my bench, because that's 2 games now where my starters got you a big lead and you guys gave it back. That's a problem.
Rose 1 for 8, quickly 1 for 5. So combined, in the last 2 games, each has made only 2 field goals.
In each of the games, and it's probably 4 for their last 36 or 37. Right. I mean, that's a problem, and the Knicks are going to have to figure out the way to get those guys right, because they trust those guys to do a lot of their offense. I mean, Julius Randle, again, I mean, that call he got down the stretch was huge, and then he makes both free throws, cashes in the free throws, makes the clutch free throws when he needs to make them for his team in winning time and winning moments. Just a big-time performance by him, and then the defense was solid. Towns is a beast. You know, he's a big-time player. He's one of the best big men in the league, and he's starting to kind of get his rhythm again. And you can run the offense through him, and he was pretty big-time in that fourth quarter.
All-Star reserves are named on Tuesday. Randle again, another double-double.
Huge.
We were talking watching this game. Is there anyone that's more valuable to his team than Julius Randle? You can make the case. This year, no.
He should be in the MVP conversation. I mean, you got to put him in the top 10, you know, in the NBA, because to your point, what would the Knicks be without his production? I mean, he does everything for this team. He draws double teams. There he finds Reggie Bullock for that 3, one of only 6 Knick threes, but that was one of them. Another monster performance. The 25 points, high percentage shooting. The 3-ball was huge. That 3 he made to close the half right here. Look at him. You put the ball in his hands, not a guard's hands. You put the ball in your 4-man, your power forward at the end of the half, and he knocks down a 3 to set the tone going into the second half. That move was just strength. I mean, he's just a beast. You know, there's another big 3 that the Knicks needed in the second half. But I just give him credit, you know, knocking down those clutch free throws. You know, his free throw percentage in his career, this is the highest it's ever been. A lot of it, his three-point shooting, this is the highest percentage three-point shooting he's ever. The skill stuff has been phenomenal that he's done this season and really helped him come away with this victory.
You know, as we were watching this game, and again, the Knicks did have a 21-point lead at one point in the third quarter, I was saying to myself, I was actually laughing to myself, like, Julius is at a point now where he's just going through the motions. It's not like he doesn't have to take a high volume of shots to get his numbers. He just gets to his numbers every game, and he was getting to his numbers at that point. Didn't think he'd have to make some big plays late to seal it, but he did. And that's, again, why he's definitely somebody that will be in consideration as an all-star, and we'll find out Tuesday night.
All right.